guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. This week I'm going to be discussing 10 different things in my tiny house that I have needed to have repaired by someone else. I have had a lot of things happen to my tiny house, whether that be by the builder or things I've wanted to change, and I've had to hire people to come and do these things because I don't have the knowledge to do them. As these people come in and fix my house, I'm learning from them. I hope to do this one day on my own and not have to hire so many people. So in this video, I will just be discussing the different things that they have fixed and a little bit more detail in why I had them fixed. Okay, number one, we're going to start with, I hired a handyman to take my closet from my upstairs bedroom loft, which I had on my ceiling, and I wanted to put it in the space where my washer dryer combo was. Now, I gave up my washer dryer combo because of a couple other different problems, but then when I got rid of it, I now had this space. This is just the amount of space that I have for my clothes that are upstairs on my ceiling. I hired the maintenance guy at the time to come and put a rod in that washer dryer combo space to hang up all my clothes that were in my room. What this allowed was for me to fill that space, number one. Number two, it helped me get the clothes off of my ceiling, which opened up a bigger area. I was using those clothes as privacy and as my closet, but now that I have shears on my windows, I can use that space as an open space rather than using the clothes on my ceiling as privacy. Number two, I decided to hire somebody to build shelves in my outside storage when I decided to get rid of my water reclamation system. When I was living in the campground, I had this water reclamation system right when I first went tiny. The builder had created it and it just didn't work out. Only about 15 houses had it and a lot of people's houses just damaged. A lot of people got refunds, the system taken out of their house. I had a 150-gallon custom tank made for me. I had filters, this whole system, all of that was in the back. When I had all of that taken out, I wanted to create storage to utilize all of that space. So that's what I did. I hired a handyman. He put in shelves, put in some shelves over here, and now I have a lot more extra storage on my tiny house. Number three, I had my composting toilet vent, which was piped out of the house at 4 feet. I had that piped up to 10 feet. The builder put that vent on the front of my house and I had my sitting area in the front of the house, and when I had guests over, they smelled something. So I needed to repipe that either up or out or under or around, just so it wasn't in my front yard. It was kind of embarrassing. So I hired a handyman to pipe that up 10 feet so that the smell was going up and away rather than into my front yard. Now, mind you, this included a top, maybe 1.5 foot vent that I had to put on top. So this is an extra thing that I have to move every single time I move my tiny house. I have to take this whole vent thing off. We had to pipe it above the house so that the wind would take away the scent. Number four, speaking of that same toilet vent that was piped up 10 feet, because it was piped up 10 feet, I had to hire somebody to put in a stronger fan. So again, still living in the campground, now I'm starting to smell my own waste in my house because the composting toilet fan was not pulling up the scent all the way up 10 feet. In my opinion, it wasn't, because again, it was wafting into my house. Had the handyman come over and we installed a stronger vent and fan, and this was on the outside. So we had to do some cutting on the 10-foot pipe that was already there, put in the stronger fan, and put a hole through the back storage in order to plug this fan in. It is working. It's working a lot better than the original composting toilet fan. So, if you're interested, I will put that link in the comments below, just because it's a great idea to up your fan for your toilet, especially if it's the one that you got isn't strong enough. Number five, I am living in Tennessee now. I had a handyman come over and put a platform under my bed. Now, this was my plan in Georgia, to put a platform under my bed because it was suggested. Didn't know what kind of platform to get, so I was thinking a wooden platform. But then when I talked to the handyman here, he said let's do a metal one because metal is less likely to mold. I purchased a bed platform on Amazon and it was 14 inches tall. We did not know if that was going to fit in my loft and have me be able to still sit on the bed. So the handyman suggested that we cut the feet to 6 inches so that there's still space underneath, the floor can breathe and the bed can breathe, but that I can still sit on the bed. And that was a perfect solution because I do have enough room underneath for extra storage, as well as I'm able to sit on my bed now with my feet hanging off. That was a good move. I'm loving it so far. Number 6, I had that same handyman replace 2 of my electrical outlets in my tiny house. I had discovered mold one of them because it was above the electric cooktop, so there was grease, just bacteria and all this stuff getting inside the holes. And when I swabbed it with my mold test kit, it was mold. So I wanted to have those replaced. I also put a piece of trim behind that area so that grease didn't get down there. I've been wiping off the new outlet more just so that, you know, stuff doesn't get inside the holes and stuff, because it was pretty nasty. There was like this green stuff coming out of it, and I don't know what it was. Just pretty nasty, especially when we took off the plate. There was a lot of food behind there. I maybe need some kind of backsplash or some kind of screen behind there so that any of the grease doesn't get into the outlet. I may take a couple suggestions and we'll see what we can do there. Number 7, I had that same handyman put a shower filter on my shower because with well water, it's kind of harsh and rough, sometimes rusty. I used my old shower head and I put the filter in between. Now I am supposedly getting cleaner water. I didn't know how to do that on my own. I didn't know about like those tapes or the glues that you have to use. I didn't know about priming it. So again, I just had the handyman do it. I've been enjoying cleaner water since. Number 8, I wanted to have a vent or a fan put in my convection oven area. I originally did not plan this, and I don't know why I didn't plan it, but it is something I forgot. So I had this handyman put in a fan to vent out any steam or smoke from my convection oven. My electric cooktop vent wasn't strong enough to pull the steam and the smoke across from the convection oven. I just gave it its own vent, and so far so good. It's been working really well. My alarm doesn't go off because it has gone off a couple times because the amount of smoke that could create in that little space used to set off the fire alarm. I had that vent put in. I had a hole put in my house. I think it is one of the best handyman things that I have done because it is helpful where, say, mold and ventilation is concerned. Because some of those mold problems, that steam could have been building up in that little box and it not having anywhere to escape and just absorbing into the walls. So I didn't want that. I want that area to be nice and dry and clean and just have it vented out of my house rather than into my house causing problems. Number 9, back to the subject of the water reclamation system. I had the handyman in Tennessee take all of the filters out that the Incredible Tiny Homes team left inside my house. When they took out the water reclamation system, they left these filters in a back box stuck underneath a board. He nailed a board over it. And I questioned him at the time and asked, don't we want to take that out? And he said, no, it'll be okay. After all the mold problems in Georgia, I thought to myself, I wonder if that filter box is causing any of these mold problems. And sure enough, I had the handyman go back there and check. We pried up the board, come to find out there was a box of moldy filters. It was so gross. It smelled so bad, and I just wanted him to take all of that out of there. He used his shop vac to vacuum out all of the moldy water. It was so gross. It was disgusting. There's just bacteria and disgusting stuff everywhere. He was cutting pipes, vacuuming up this stuff, and he ended up spray foaming the pipe that was connected to it because the guys at ITH didn't do that. We took all of that mess out of there. Finally, now it's all drying out. I'll probably make it into a little storage box or something, but I'm just really glad that I had somebody do that. I would not have been able to do that by myself. I wouldn't have known what to do or how to fix it. I wouldn't have even known how to get the box out. I hired somebody, he did it. Thank goodness that all of that is out. Number 10, I had this handyman also replace the damage on my exterior storage door from when the original U-ship company that I hired went to go move my tiny house. They ended up getting my house stuck and jackknifing their truck to my house, trying to get it unstuck. In the process, they damaged my door. I went ahead and had this handyman fix it himself. The wood pieces were not 1x4s. They were actually 1x4s cut to be like a 1x3. So he had to bring this big old saw and cut it to the correct size. I chose not to have this handyman fix the burn that was on there, so I didn't want him to take apart the whole entire storage door. So the burn, I guess, kind of makes it look a little rustic, but I did have him replace those 2 pieces of wood, and now all I have to do is stain it and seal it the same color as my house, and it will be good as new. As I have these tasks fixed on my house, I'm learning a lot from these people who are doing the jobs. I really wish I could do them myself, so maybe I could either YouTube or, I don't know, have somebody teach me. I can learn from somebody on how to do these things, but a lot of this handy work is just out of my realm, so that's why I hired people. So maybe when I get my homestead, I will be hiring less people. I don't know, we'll see. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and click the notifications bell so you can receive a notification each time I post a new video, which is every Sunday. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. So far, and yeah, that was stubbed out 4 feet. Sorry, don't put that. Handy guys to come into my house to do, don't put that. Handymen have come into my house to fix, don't put that either. Handy guy, don't put that either. Going to be talking about, we're going to be things that I have had fixed when the builder, hold on. I had, don't put that, likely to mold or rust. Don't put rust. Just go into more detail about